Hi, I'm Anthony O'Flynn. I'm here to assist you in transforming your inner landscape and support you on your journey of awakening. The polarity between shadow and light is a very relevant theme, a very relevant topic as we watch and observe events occurring at a global level, and we see this duality between good and evil, between shadow and light, becoming more accentuated, becoming more obvious, becoming increasingly more apparent. Now, this isn't to say that the forces of darkness have just suddenly emerged from nowhere. There has always been forces of darkness in this epoch, in this era, that's been controlling this planet. But now it's becoming more apparent, and we now have greater clarity and the eyes to see their methods of control, and also the desperation which the forces of darkness are clearly at a tipping point as far as the actions they're carrying out in order to sustain the control, the basic way of having this systematic control of the planet. And so at the same time, we see this duality that's starting to increase where the light is also becoming more and more apparent. So we are living through this time of the apocalypse, the great apocalypse, which is actually not a word meaning doom and destruction. It's actually a Greek word that actually means lifting of the veil. And that's what I'm referring to when I say that everything is becoming more apparent, that we can see now what is going on, because we're living through this great transformation of the ages, this shift from one age to another, this shift from one yuga in the Hindu tradition to another, shifting from the Kali Yuga, the Iron Age, the Age of Darkness, to Satya Yuga, the Age of Truth, the Golden Age of Man. So many people would be asking why, if we're living through this shift, if things are becoming better, then why does everything seem to be worse? Why are there more problems, more darkness, more social, economic, political, environmental problems, and all the other things that we see going on in the world? Well, this is precisely the divine plan. It's the rhythm of the universe, in the sense that the darkness becomes darker before the light enters. So the darkness will manifest strongly at the end of this yuga, or at the end of this age, as the light slowly starts to become more apparent, becomes more visible. So people looking for a transformation on the physical plane, at the physical level, well, this is what's going to happen last, because this is the last plane to transform. What transforms first would be the ether of the planet as we move into the new earth, the aura of the planet as we connect with a higher state of consciousness, higher vibration of energy, and this permeates into our being, that ultimately permeates into our physical actions, which translates into the new earth. So be patient as far as the shift is concerned in regard to seeing things that are visible, more tangible. However, at the subtle level, we can now see that this waves of energy coming in, particularly activating the upper chakras, are actually giving us particularly an activation of the heart chakra on the background, which is occurring spontaneously. The key is we need to maintain our practices, our meditation, our various spiritual techniques to be open to receive that energy. Because part of the polarity that's occurring is we're becoming also individually more aware of our shadow, of our impurities, of our limitations. And this is the opportunity for us to grow and evolve, to transform, so we can receive this energy, because it's becoming more apparent in the sense that we are now able to experience states of selflessness, of increased affectivity, of empathy, of pure unconditional love. This activation of Anahata chakra, the heart chakra, easier for us to connect to. So in this way, this duality is not just what we are seeing externalized, but it's also the internal evolution that is occurring as we are actually needing to embody and integrate our shadow to become more whole, to become more complete, so we can move forwards and we can basically evolve and shift into the new earth. So this increasing apparent darkness in the world is also significantly a reflection of the insights we're actually having into our own consciousness, where we see our own limitations and where we need to heal and where we need to evolve, because it shows that we're out of alignment. So it's actually simply a signal. It's an indication that this is the places in our life, whatever aspect it is we're referring to, that needs to change. And that's why so many people are struggling at the moment on all the different aspects of our life. There's so many people who are having challenges in various aspects. It's because this is an opportunity for us to become aligned with the energies of the new earth. So it's important to have this energy of, or this attitude of resilience and openness, to treat our daily experience like an ongoing reflection of our own input, of our own integration into life, because the mirror is now being held up closer. It's being held up in a more transparent way, that we can see what is going on with ourselves. So the feedback is perhaps faster, more clear, and more direct. And this is a beautiful thing, because it actually shows us the actual where we actually are out of alignment with entering the new earth. So be grateful for these challenges, be grateful for this opportunity to see ourselves, to have this self-awareness that we are able to understand and have these aha moments, because it's also at the same time obviously happening at a global level. This recent revelations, or the release of these documents regarding the assassination of JFK, are an indication of this. Even the very recent discovery of a so-called void in the Great Pyramid at Giza, this is part of the process of everything becoming unveiled or becoming transparent, because we need to actually understand where this darkness is showing up, so we can give it light, so we can give it love for this healing energy, both at an individual level and at a collective level. And obviously, with the actions of the darkness becoming so desperate and so clear to remain in this fixated state of control, that simply our attention is continually tried to be diverted onto the problems, onto the issues, onto all the negativity and darkness. Now, obviously we need to be aware of these issues, but it's how we relate to them is where we need to be very, very mindful of, because if we get drawn into the darkness at an emotional level, particularly connecting with the emotion of fear, then we're playing exactly into the hands of the people who are controlling the planet, the people who are basically pervading the darkness, because there is this subtle energy, there is a lot of light that is also coming onto the planet, and we need to focus our attention more on this. So we should be focusing our attention, the 80-20 rule, 80% on the solution, 20% on the problem. And of course, much of the awakening movement is completely the opposite. Very happy to wallow in their own projected negativity, in their own darkness, by simply rehashing all the problems, all the issues, all the ongoing collective trauma that we're experiencing, with offering no solution, with offering no light. So be aware of what information you connect to, be aware of the belief systems that you adopt, and evaluate yourself. Check in with how you're evaluating and navigating the shift, because the more we focus on the light, the more our resonance is actually going to embody the light. The more we're projecting this positivity into our consciousness, the more the feedback comes that we're entering a positive state. This doesn't mean to bury our head in the sand or to be oblivious to the ongoing political, social, economic, environmental issues that are becoming increasingly concerning on the planet, but to integrate ourselves into a positive way, to be more solution-based, particularly at an individual level. So the question we should be asking is, how can I produce solutions? What can I contribute? What can I do to accelerate our journey into the new earth? This is the cosmic plan. We're really seeing that now with the duality of this light and darkness, we're really becoming more polarized as people are becoming more aware of their own individual role, their own individual mission, what they need to accomplish internally, what they need to produce externally. It becomes clearer and clearer that we are on this journey to the new paradigm. But remember, the darkness is not going to give up easily. They have been in control of this planet for this entire epoch, this entire era, and for them it's simply a way of being. And the cosmic plan is also part of this frequency shift, but to accelerate it, the only way is to take this personal responsibility, know thyself, as the Greeks would say, and to understand that to become more integrated in our being, we need to integrate the darkness and add light to it, to understand ourselves, to work with our limitations, not ignore them, to give ourselves patience, compassion and self-love, to undergo this journey of evolution that we are all experiencing, that we are all here to evolve and all here for this journey for the new earth, and to simply give this momentum, give this time, give this energy to create this new earth, to enter the new paradigm and to offer our gifts and shine our own light in the way that we are being called to. So if you got something out of this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, because the shifts are coming more and more. There's a lot happening at the geopolitical level and also at the energetical level within. So stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching. If you're watching this, you are the shift.